From a performance standpoint, obviously we were disappointed in our overtime loss to Ohio State. For whatever reason, they've had a number this year, and we haven't been able to come up with a win against them, although we played well, especially at times, and came away with 3 ties essentially that went into shootouts and 2 losses. If you would have told me when we went into the game that we would have held Dzingel to no shots on goal, their power play would have had no success, and I would have taken that and said we'll win the game. And yet we weren't able to finish and score on our opportunities, which really has been kind of the story of the season, our inability to score goals, especially at the right time. In terms of the Big Ten season, I just want to comment on that real quick. I thought it was terrific, actually. I thought the Big Ten did a great job. The competition is excellent. It was fun for the players. The buildings were terrific. So I think Big Ten hockey's gotten off to a real good start, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger. We've had a lot of real positive feedback, both from fans and in recruiting, which I think is important as well. So kudos to the Big Ten for areas that we need to improve. Clearly, scoring is at the top of the list. Had we been able to score with more regularity this year, I think our number was a little over 2 goals a game. If we could get that closer to 3 goals a game, we would have probably won anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 more games, I think, just on that alone. So we have to improve our ability to score, and that will be a bit of a challenge because for the first time in my time here, we're not going to have a huge turnover in players from a recruitment standpoint. We're certainly losing a couple of our better offensive players in Greg Wolf for sure, and Lee Reimer had a pretty good season as well. And so, probably don't use this term in sports very often, but we're going to have to improve organically within the group that we have. They've got to get better, and that'll be a major focal point this summer for sure. We'll also look at things that we can do from a systematic standpoint to improve our ability to score as well. What we need as a defense corps, we need to do a better job at being able to move the puck and be involved in our attack. And it starts with your ability to move the puck. So if we can do a better job breaking out of our zone and not allowing teams to establish a forecheck, that can start on the offense. And so we need to do a better job with that. And some of that I think we'll be able to improve on. In other areas I think it's skill sets that we're just going to have to live with and make the best of. But for us to get better offensively, I think we have to start back there. It's not just a matter of finishing up front. In 20 games, we had 0 goals from our defense in the Big Ten play. On the other hand, it's important that the guys that are coming back have a real productive off season, because they're going to be counted on to take us a big step next season. So there's a little more pressure on those guys to make sure they're stepping up. But I think that if you look at our team this year compared to last year, the areas that we really grew in is that I thought we learned how to defend much better and much more consistently than we did a year before. Part of that was, we changed our systems to accommodate our talent level. I like the personality, actually, that whole freshman group brings to the team. It's hard to see that in the recruitment process, with the limited time we can spend with them. But I was very pleasantly surprised in that regard. Yesterday was the first opportunity to really meet, and we just tried to be very objective to say, hey guys, we're not where we want to be, and we've got a long ways to go to get there. And this off season is critical to us being able to do that. Last year I told them there were going to be a number of new players coming in, so there was going to be a lot of competition for jobs, and there were guys who played with regularity 2 seasons ago that got way less ice time this year. And whether or not they took me seriously when I told them that is a real question, because you got to be committed to your off season. Because what happens is if you're not, and your season starts, and it starts slow for you, for whatever reason, we had a suspension, we had guys get off to slow starts, we had injuries. If you're not prepared for your start. Now, when you do get started, you're behind the 8 ball, you lose your confidence, and now it becomes a snowball that's rolling out of control. And in some cases, I think that's what happened.